Now, I kid you not, I think this might be the worst roster in Madden history, especially when you consider the draft picks. No first-round pick this year. Of course, they have that extra third from trading Jalen Ramsey off, but you consider contracts like Matthew Stafford's and Allen Robinson's. This, like I said, I think is probably the worst Madden roster technically ever. It really might be. Look at these offensive linemen. You have Havenstein, who got a 3-year, 35, I believe. Higbee's not on the greatest contract either. Allen Robinson, his dead hit's $26 million this year. Cooper Kupp is a great player, but at least in Madden terms, maybe not the longest lasting. I guess he's 30 years old. He's fine. I thought he was like 31 at this point, but that's fine actually. But Stafford, like a $91 million dead hit. In real life, will he? Will he not? I don't know. A ton of concussions, that elbow thing before the season even started, and it was just an awful year for the Rams. One of the worst, Super Bowl wins to, next season failure, turnovers I've ever seen. One of the worst for sure. You have a couple of core players, but not really. Aaron Donald's a guy that, how many years has he got left? For him, I don't even know how, other than maybe your personal legacy, how you even play how you normally play, knowing that it's pretty much all for nothing, right? He's playing against doubles, triples, and it's going to be for nothing because there's just no way the Rams are competing this year. There's just no way. Stafford could be the greatest Stafford he's ever been, and it won't be enough. It just won't be enough. This team needs so much help, and as far as what we're going to do in the draft, we probably trade down. Of course, if there's a great talent at 38 that I just can't pass on, that I know is going to be a cornerstone piece for this team for a decade, I'll take him. But there's a good chance I trade down to try and lengthen this draft. As sure, we have those 2/3, but we have no 4th. We have no 5th. We have obviously no 1st. Got a bunch of 6th and 7ths at least. I don't know if we even are owed this 7th. This might actually just be a part of the trade that I made for, what is it called? To get the first pick over to the Bears, or to the Panthers anyways, excuse me, wrong team. But it doesn't really matter because, realistically, every team is owed compensatory picks, and that's not in the game. So I'm not going to cry about, and hopefully no one else does, a 7th round pick. And then as far as free agency goes, most of these players are either signed by someone in real life or just are too old to even work with, right? With this team, I wouldn't want anyone older than 26 because by the time we actually compete, they're going to start regressing. They're going to need another contract that we probably won't be able to afford. There's really no point in making the team good with players that aren't going to develop now just to worsen our draft pick but have no realistic chance at winning a Super Bowl, So realistically here, I don't know if there's anyone that can really help this team. Bryce Huff, I don't know why he took the deal he did. The little bit of, eliteness he was showing, he should have absolutely tried to chase the bag, or maybe he did and nobody paid. I don't know, but you would have thought he would have got a decent little contract, but he didn't, and I can't sign him because of it. All right, the Panthers should be taking a quarterback, and they have kind of did a video that I don't know when it's going to come out. Yeah, I was about to say, I did a video recently where things were getting weird. It didn't get this weird, though. I think the Cardinals took Jalen Carter last time I was on that. Christian Gonzalez. I'm pretty sure I edited this class. This is a Bengals class, of course. I edited this class to reflect real life a little bit because I believe Witherspoon is above him now, kind of in projections. And I might have ruined things. I don't know. But, you could see that they're all ahead. So, there should be no excuse for them to be taking cornerback instead of Will Anderson or Carter even, or Tyree Wilson, if you will. But that doesn't really change a whole lot in this realm. Quarterbacks are still going to fly the way they are. Not that I even care. Will Anderson of the Colts, okay. We heard quarterbacks, we don't know where they're going to go, but I don't know about that. Raiders getting Jalen Carter sure would be something. You would hear some crazy calls if that's how the board went. But either way, we can't trade up. So there's no point in even, slow simming other than just kind of taking a look at the beginning. JSN, I have him projected at 15 in here, and he goes all the way in the second round. Quentin Johnston's still here, but once again, a guy that it's just not going to happen. We have so many different options, but I really like to trade down here if I can. Is what's his name still here? I don't think he would be. Yeah, he's not. I'm trying to think of who is it again? I'm literally drawing a blank on who I was thinking about. But either way, There's a bunch of different good players here, but like I said, other than like Quentin Johnson, who I don't think is really fair to grab because it's the second round, I'm going to have to trade down. I would love to go Quentin, but I just don't think like I said, I just think there's a 0% chance he'll be here. I think Zay and Quentin will both be gone by 6 in the second, so that's not really fair. All right, ignore Skoranek. I know, he actually got a little bit of burn, but 38 Skoranek and 193 for 44 and 108. They wanted to give me 44 and 120, which would actually be a net loss for us. So I'm gaining with that 108, but not by much because we had to give up that 7th. But who do they want? It said they needed DT, and they got one, I suppose. How the hell is Zay Flowers still here? Like, that's just not happening. I'm not even gonna lie, my trade radar is off. I looked at this and my eyes kind of lit up, but this is actually technically another L, and I'm gonna take it anyways. I wanted to add a 5th, which would have made this a 2-point in our favor, but I just can't be bothered. Like, it's just, we have no talent at all. We have no players, even like backup low-level players, to make the trade forced. It's so bad. But we have some options. Jalen Hyatt would be a guy that would probably be there. Jervon Dexter. Tyler Scott still there, which would be a speedy little demon. A.T. Perry is always an interesting name. Tucker Kraft is there. Tight end's not easy to get, but we do have Higbee. Don't really want to replace Higbee until I absolutely need to. Is there any, like, can't-miss players here? Horton, Garrett Williams. I definitely want Garrett Williams. Skinner would be interesting. I've never had him. I think he is normal dev, though, but he's pretty big and fast. I kind of like him. Great, I'm going to take Andre Carter. Haven't had him in a long time in the game. See how he develops. Still hidden development rate. Still pretty athletic. 6'7". I believe he did run way worse than that in real life, though. So, whoops. But what kind of picks do we have? So we should have like 3 or 4 for third-round picks, which would be great. Tyler Scott is still there. I think it'd be impossible for me to pass on, what's his name? A.T. Perry, but, man, I really don't want to just keep going for him. Haven't really developed him in a long time, though, so I don't know. Tucker Kraft is also staring right at me here. 21 years old, athletic as hell. Higbee, let's see what his out is. Yeah, I mean, I guess technically they could get rid of him, like, now. So I might actually go with Tucker Kraft. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with the bigger body Musgrave. He's projected to go sooner than this, not by a crazy amount. Plus, that age 23 doesn't matter because he's actually 22 in real life. He's actually basically the same age as Tucker Kraft, maybe like a month older. So we're going to change his age to 22. I almost just spit up all over you, sorry. And man, I really want to take him because I know he can be developed, but like we just don't. Like, they have Allen Robinson that they have to play and pay. Van Jefferson's got to play. Obviously, Kupp's got to play. Tutu Atwell, you would like for them to actually do something with him since they overdrafted him. I can't take a wide receiver even though it's such a smart idea. But man, that's why I love these rebuilds, because you got to make every pick count. I can't just be like, oh, well, it's a wasted first round. Who cares? Every pick counts, so I don't know. I like these. So if you guys have any ideas for like challenge rebuilds similar to this, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe leave a like and subscribe while you're down there. If you are already subscribed, appreciate you a ton. We're going to grab Garrett Williams. He's my man's. Hidden development trait, 91 speed, 91 excel. You got to love the fact that he's only 20. Definitely a little bit of creepy vibes from me there, not going to lie. What's our next pick? So we do have a 4th round pick on top of it. Let's see what we can do here. Obviously, we're not going to, Rome wasn't built in a day, But we're going to try our best to make as good of a roster in year 1 if we can. Oh, damn. Both of my corners are gone. That sucks. I was actually thinking about taking another one here. So we ended up getting 107 and some sort of like decent 5th round pick. I decided to do it because I just don't know who to take. There's so much talent still left, and I don't know who to take at this point. But here, it's a little bit closer. I might be taking O-line here. Roy is still there. I might have to take Roy. We need D-line as well. I'm going to take Roy because he's 21 years old. A lot of potential there. Mr. Roy, welcome. Normal development rate, of course, but plenty of potential. And I think at 12, I pretty much have to take some sort of lineman. But Zierer as the left tackle, I think, would be kind of fun. So we're going to grab that big old left tackle. So we got some huge tackles now. Pretty sure Havenstein is massive, is he not? Yeah, I knew he was 6'8". I figured he was 6'8". I just didn't want to say because I didn't want to sound dumb. But yeah, he's a big dude. So this is a bit of a risk because there's a very good chance that we suck and the Bears could be good. But I trade 70. This is a huge loss for us, I will admit. I trade 70 for 129, 151, and then a 4th round next year. This is risk. That is the definition of risk. However, we're getting some players for now. We're developing them now, and I think that is a pretty big factor when you look at these trades where it's like, oh, one-sided and whatever. But like, if you're getting this player now and you're trading something that's from the future, it's not as big of a loss as it would appear, right? Because you're taking a player that can develop right away, whereas that draft pick is down the line. We're gonna go with Tradin. We need a safety, and Tradin is like basically the last safety there. So we've got ourselves a safety. We're gonna go to 50 or 23 in the 5th, and then just take whoever's there. Honestly, don't have a lot of draft picks left, but we have 30 as well. That 3rd round is gonna cost us next season, but it is what it is. All those wide receivers. At best, maybe Wicks. All my edge rushers besides Beal are gone. And I mean, that basically just said it, right? All my edge rushers but Beal are gone. I'm taking Beal, simply put. Don't think we have any edge rushers. They released Leonard Floyd as well. They're cleaning house. This is a team that's looking, ironically enough, for the first time in a while, at draft replacement. I suppose this team does run a 3-4, right? So Coburn is going to be added to the squad. And then in the 6th round, hopefully one of those linebackers are there. I probably should have slow simmed. D. Winters. I wish some of these guys were 21. Not that 22 is old, obviously, but we need all the bonuses we can get. So anyone that's 21 would be a major help. But speaking of grabbing the wide receiver, getting some speed. And then even though it's not going to do a whole lot for us, I'm going to try to trade this for a 5th next year if I'm lucky. And we'll get it from the runner-ups in the Super Bowl, but it's still a 5th round pick nonetheless. Trying to recoup as much as I can after losing that 3rd next. I don't think it was a bad decision, though. I really don't. A late 2nd/high 3rd. Yet, if we get some breakouts, we basically could turn that into 3 star development trait players if we're lucky. We're going to take Levi McLean. I didn't actually look at the other ones. I'm just pretty sure that this class doesn't really have that great of kickers for kick power. So, Levi McLean looked the best out of them all. Just off the first glance. Maybe there was someone better than that, but got ourselves a new kicker. All right, so the team, I can't imagine would have went up in overall too much. 2 overalls, apparently, which actually not bad. But we got a new outside, I would imagine outside linebacker, edge, whatever you want to call them. New tight end, who I honestly think will start. We may even trade Higbee if we can even get like a 5th. Garrett Williams, Roy, Zierer, who's going to play left tackle. Trade Dean, who's probably going to play free safety. We're moving some players around here. It's not going to be pretty, but what can you do? We did what we could. All right, we trade Higbee in a 6th round this year for 151 from the Giants. I know in-game I probably could have gotten something like a 3rd, but like the way the market is for players in general, there's no way Higbee goes for anywhere near that. Even a 5th alone, probably people wouldn't even trade for him. So we added a bit of youth, but man, we need a little bit more. I put Van Jefferson at number 2, even though he's like 26 already, I believe. 20? Okay, so it doesn't even matter. I might as well just put Anthony or Allen Robinson at number 2 then, because holy crap, he's 27. Please. Tutu Atwell's 23, but his release is like also the same. I don't know, dude. This team needs an overhaul at wide receiver as well, so we'll see what happens. I think we'll be able to make this team a little bit more of our own after this season, as I would assume Van Jefferson needs a contract, and even though he's shown potential in real life, I just don't think there's a point in us re-signing him here. And then we have a cornerback, too, who is 25 years old. Can they, like, maybe just grab players that aren't, like, nearly 30 after their rookie season? Like, please? It begins. Roy is now a star development trait. 20 KXP, D lineman. Kind of an ultimate sell. There's no such thing as the play calling being the problem. You needed 1 tackle for a lost linebacker, man. So, even after having no talent, we only have 61 mil, which is ridiculously bad. Jordan Fuller, maybe a contract, and then Akers, I would imagine. The problem is, Akers is a guy that usually doesn't perform in sim, if I'm not mistaken, despite the fact that he is obviously worth it based on his ratings. Let's take a look. Oh, I'm wrong. Okay, I guess he actually does play well in sim. Forget what I've said. Let's bring him back. 5-year 30? I mean, running backs aren't getting paid these days, and he's obviously far from elite. Oh, dude, this is so annoying. All right, so we won a lot more games than I was hoping we would, but yeah, 6-11 season, obviously kind of expected, like I said, even worse than that, to be honest. But here's the season for Matthew Stafford: 33 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4,580 yards. If I were to say what that is deserving of, probably a 78 overall. So if we're going to go that route of changing his ratings, wow, Cooper Kupp had a year. I think that is where he's going to go. I think we're going to determine if he should go up in overall based on if he goes up in dev. I think that's fair. So if he doesn't go up in dev, we're not going to up his rating, and he may just retire. Kobe Durant had a dev up, sold, but 5 interceptions might be enough to go up in dev. Not that I really care, because he's already 25, about to be 26. Award wins, probably would not have had any. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, I forgot about besides the obvious ones. No one knew is what I meant. Oh, the kicker, star development trait, not bad. But head to the Super Bowl, see if we have any dev ups at all. If Kupp wasn't an X factor, he obviously would have went up, but I don't think anyone else, maybe some defenders, would have done that. Might have to change the scheme, because this is a little bit too one-sided. You're running the ball well. You're not throwing to the tight end that we grabbed decently high, and he's obviously solid. And the Niners win the Super Bowl. Did Stafford go up? Is he going to go up in overall? He did not. 70 overall for Matthew Stafford. Yikes. Didn't go up in dev, sadly, even though he probably should have, to be honest. But I'm not going to change him. Watch, I'm going to get people mad at me for not cheating this time. Allen Robinson, I think, is still... No, actually, I think you can get rid of him. Pretty sure you can, you can save money, get rid of him. It depends on what happens in free agency / the draft. Van Jefferson's going to be gone. He's 28 now, and he's 77 overall. That's a GG. Defensively, Roy, no, he was already devved up. Durant went up. I don't really care. Jones and Winters went up, but the safety and Beal did not. Coburn also did not. So, I mean, we got a couple of dev ups, I suppose, but not the most beneficial season, right? We didn't really do much, didn't really get a lot done. And I probably really should have wanted Stafford to, what is that called? To go up in dev so we could upgrade his overall, because, man, his dead hit is insane. What draft pick do we have before I decide to upgrade Stafford? I know it's kind of a weird, beneficial thing. So we do have 7th overall. Is there a QB? So there's several top 5s, but I don't know if that's something we're going to be able to get. Weber looks pretty good. Chris Rose obviously looks the best. And then Dodge looks decent enough. Elite throw power. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I think no matter what, I'm going to upgrade Stafford to 75 overall. I don't think anyone can complain about that. 36 is not that old for a quarterback. It's up there, but it's he's still got it, I think. I don't know, dude, because of the concussions and the arm thing. I feel like if he was needing a new contract, he would actually probably retire, but there's so much money on the table right now that, you just can't if you're him. You just can't. But looking at free agency, this is what it looks like. Obviously, I hate when Herbert's in free agency. Same with Hurts. It's just it's the position you don't lose, right? It's the one position you don't lose, and yet every time they get rid of them. Wide receivers, do you pay someone? Do you maybe pay someone? I don't know. I kind of like some of these players. All right, we have 5 targets. Let's see if we get any of them. Peoples-Jones is the only one that didn't go, and Winfield actually signed, so a bit costly for a safety, but a 4-year, $66 million deal for a 26-year-old safety who is ultra talented. I think is perfectly fine. A 4-year 12 for the punter, a 2-year 13 for Runyon, and a 2-year 10 for Fulton, and I don't know why Peoples-Jones hasn't accepted already. This is basically a cheaper, less risky, higher potential Allen Robinson, if you will. So we've had Donovan Peoples-Jones a couple of times, but can we actually see him develop for once? Gonna change the scheme around to actually, utilize both wide receivers and maybe the tight end. So I'm not even sure who the hell. I guess maybe Tampa Not going to run the ball much, but I suppose didn't really run the ball that much or well this season anyways. I guess it was, 4.5 yards per carry. That's not terrible, to be fair. But a quick glance at the updated roster. Runyon, right guard. So, I mean, realistically, we obviously could use a left guard, center, even technically a right guard for the future. Quarterback's on the list, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get up to one. Wide receiver is fine. We're going to trade or release. I think I'm just going to release Allen Robinson. I don't think you had much trade value, if anything, at this point. Taking a dead hit page out of the Rams book, I suppose. As far as defense goes, pass rusher wouldn't hurt. And stop it, Brown. Stop it. Fulton at left cornerback 2 isn't the worst in the world, so we'll see. We have names. We have a lot of players that we could just live with, but it would be nice to still upgrade. All right, I do not know if this is our only chance at a quarterback or not, so we'll see. We're going to play it by ear, see what happens. Pick 7 is doable. I don't know who needs QB. Wow, they took Abbott. I had him as a round 1 edge. He went high. He might be good. It's pick 3. No quarterback has been taken. Bears took one. The Bears. I got to take a look at the Eagles and Cardinals because I would imagine the Eagles don't have a quarterback, but the Bears took one. You want to give us Fields then? Oh, you can have them. Cardinals won't take one. Eagles absolutely are about to take one. And then the Jets, I don't know what their situation is. Let's take a look at the Jets before we make any plays. The Jets probably need someone, but you never know. Ooh, Zach Wilson. So if we want this trade, we'd have to trade interdivisional. Yeah, I don't think they're going to allow that, to be honest. Oh, man, we're going to have to just let it go. Okay, so here's the positive thing. We either get quarterback or we get edge. I would rather have the quarterback, but it's not going to happen. Yep, we dodged a bullet. Yeah. Hopefully he's trash. That could not have went any worse. The Cardinals were literally the only team that we could have traded with, and obviously they would not give us the pick in real life. That would have given us a quarterback, obviously. Not guaranteed that we were trading up for a quarterback, but, I mean, if I'm them, I'm expecting that. So, Dalton Treiber, I believe, is the guy that I was looking at. Don't know if I want to go edge this high, though. At least I would assume he was edge. I put him on my list, and it just didn't upgrade him for some reason. But you'd have to assume a 6'4", 256-pounder is edge. I'm going to go with him. We need him. And he's hitting. That's all that matters. 86 speed, 90 excel. I'm assuming he's edge, like I said. I'm at least hoping. Try to move this for 2/3 if I can. Like a high third and like maybe a late third, and we just trade up that late third because we have a bunch of fifths. All right, Brian Allen, our starting center with 39 and a 7th next year for 67, 71, and 131. Realistically, the 131 should have been added on for free, but of course the game didn't honor our bet. Like, we would have gained a little bit on that trade, but we deserved it, technically. And there are 2 quarterbacks that look decent. I know those key ratings don't look the most promising, but they're both very strong, I believe, in their throw power. So there's something to be said about maybe taking one of them. Great throw power, not super athletic, sadly, but some okay redeeming key ratings. And then you have Chris Williams, who is also 21 years old with elite throw power, also kind of like weaker. They're both 21. I think it's worth taking one of them. I really do. So we're going to see what happens. Hopefully Schillinger is still there for a while, so then, we can just take best available after, one of them goes. And centers are some of the best bets for dev. So I'm going to go Dexter Kitchen, who is hidden development trait, 91 strength. He was a 2-3. Didn't really expect to go for him. I was expecting to go for all those guards, but he was there still, so what am I supposed to do? And there goes one of the quarterbacks. Jets obviously won't take another quarterback. Our next pick is in the 4th effing round. If we're going to go QB, this is the time to do it. Chris Williams. Do I do it? Because our team is kind of getting good enough to where, will we even be a top 10 pick upcoming this season? I don't know. If we were 7th pick with the crap show we had, after free agency, after the offseason, or, the draft here, I don't know if we're even top 10. And we couldn't even get a quarterback at 7. So I'm going Chris Williams. I'm hoping for the best. And he's hidden! Okay, I didn't expect hidden. Now, I expected kind of a situation where I almost even did it in year 1, but I was like, maybe it's a little early with Tanner McKee. This was our Tanner McKee, but he's 96 throw power and he's hidden. So, much better than Tanner McKee. I am glad. I almost didn't take him. Oh no, Conley. Conley looked like an absolute home run hit, but he was a 3-4, so I figured we had a little bit of time. I'm going to trade up for Rhodes, I think. So we trade 99, 139, and Bobby Brown to the Steelers for 73. They needed a DT. Really isn't many DTs left other than the nose tackle, which we might take later. I don't know. I kind of want Coburn to finally develop, though. But let us see. Oh, man, Burrows is so hard to not to grab. But I believe we are going to... Jimmy Jones looked okay, but corner's not that big of a need for us. He is 22, so if he is normal, which something tells me he's hidden, it would be a bad pick for us. I'm going to take what we need more than that, which is another lineman, Mick Rhodes. Hidden development trait. We are kind of set on offensive line. We can maybe use one more for the future of right guard, but future, don't really need to worry about that right now. But we have ourselves a quarterback. I love it. Also didn't even notice his name was Tim Allen. What a name. So strangely enough, that corner is still there, I believe. Jimmy Jones. He's interesting. He's a 2-3, though, which worries me. 2-3 definitely worries me. But also, Drummond, who's a day 3, was actually, unless it was a different Drummond, was actually mentioned in the EA thing, which is so hit or miss. But he is super athletic. I'm kind of debating on going for him. If I can get 3 more players, Drummond, Steen, and Harris would be great. At least Drummond and Steen, though. So I'm going to go Drummond right now, just because EA mentioned him. I'm hoping he's hidden. And he is. Very athletic as well. That's a good pick. That is Fulton, who I believe didn't cost us that much. Maybe number 3. We trade Durant 131 and 183 to the Texans for 104, which I think is a fair trade. Durant's a little bit on the older side, I will admit, but he is star development trait, and you know those picks were pretty close as is, and it's really late in the draft, so it is what it is. Hodgins is also interesting because he's speedy, but Tutu Atwell, I guess, is just going to be him at the number 3 spot. But Steen is absolutely the guy I've been staring at a bit. 21 years old, 6'3", 256, a tackle. Of course, strangely enough, an AC power and finesse move. Probably both C in fairness, but very interesting. Super big. Give me someone good. And another hidden development trait. Of course, I mention it a lot, and it hasn't happened again since, but we have taken an X Factor nose tackle before. Could this be another? With this pick, I think I'm going to try to get up here and take the linebacker. I don't know if we really need him, but if he at least looks decent, maybe he starts over Winters, even though Winters is star development trade. I don't know if that was an overtrade. I just did it. Or do we trade up for the wide receiver? Because Tutu Atwell, man, I don't know if he's ever going to be anything. It's a bit late in his career already. Although Taj Harris looks like kind of a can't miss, although he's 22. Super speedy, A-zone. I'm going to take him. TJ Harris. And hidden development trade. I called him Taj Harris, by the way. Hidden development trade again. 82 jumping, 78 change of direction. This has been a solid one. 2 7s this and a 5th next year to the Seahawks for 129, was it? I don't even know what number it was. I don't care about interdivision on the 5th round. Who cares? But we're going to be taking our final player on our list. I can't believe Jimmy Jones is still here. I need to find out who this guy is. He must be bad. Jeromepkr Hodgins, a little bit of speed, and our hidden streak has run out. 94 speed, 85 jumping. We'll see how good he is. Kind of projects to be the number 3, though. But I'm curious to see the quarterbacks, and obviously that Jimmy Jones guy. I don't know what the hell is up with him, because he doesn't look that bad. You know, we've seen a lot of those guys that are like 1st or 2nd grade, grade talents that you can tell they suck. But he doesn't look bad. I'm actually curious. I wonder if he's like one of those 6'4 corners that like the AI always passes on, yet they're almost always good. Let's take a look at the draft recap, though. What did we get? 76. I completely forgot we took edge. The quarterback is only a 67 overall, but he is hidden, so that's fine. A little mixed bag of overalls, but overall, speaking of, I like it. I think we did pretty damn well here. Triber, the hidden development trait outside linebacker, he was, thankfully, edge. 79 finesse, 71 block shed. I believe is it right out? I think we need. I think it's right out. Let's change his number to something in the 50s probably. 55, I guess. Dev, superstar. That's a great start. That is, especially for edge, not an easy position to get the devs up for. Kitchen, I doubt we'll move him around, but he is kind of on the bigger side. Looks more like a tackle with that finesse blocking, but I suppose we'll just see what his dev is. Maybe move him to tackle. I don't know. Another superstar. Okay. I like it. The quarterback is obviously super intriguing because he could be, superstar. Could be an X factor for all we know. I would guess star. Oh, paranoid. Not that it matters for us, but in a user franchise, it definitely would suck. And 14 is the only quarterback number we have. And he is star development trait. And now we have Rhodes, who I believe will be an automatic starter. Finesse blocking's good. Man, the power blocking for like all players in the game are just terrible. What is his dev? He is star development trait. Can't have him. Can't win them all. Starting to go down in devs a little bit. Drummond, of course, the guy that EA, was like, hey, check this guy out. Not great. Definitely not great, but athletic as hell. Wish he was 21 considering how raw he is, but I think he's still going to be the number 2 as Fulton has a chance to develop, but he's not like him, if you will. I was hoping for superstar just because it was the prospect, but it's not. Steen, here's an interesting one now. Very raw. Not very good at all. What is his dev? I almost want to start Coburn anyways if he's not at least superstar plus. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Star dev. He's cool, but Coburn probably has a better ceiling at this rate. It's tough to develop these DTs. And then the final hidden is Mr. TJ Harris, who I called Taj Harris. Raw as hell block shedder, but pretty good coverage ratings, honestly, for a youngster. 22 star plus. I would imagine star. Have seen some superstars, though. And it is star. Not a bad draft, though. I am curious to see the quarterbacks, obviously. So, let's actually, I want to see Abbott as well, because he was projected. Okay. Well, they sold. Thankfully, they didn't take the guy I had, because I would have absolutely taken this guy. I mean, you could see the base ratings are there. He's just normal dev. Thankfully, the Seahawks sold, because I would have definitely taken him. Absolutely. Who the hell is Will Lowry? What the hell? 96 hit power, in fairness, but super slow for a pick 2 overall off ball. What are they doing? I thought he would have been X-Factor. So those two teams in the top are stupid. Let's take a look at the Bears quarterback, Chris Rose. A little bit of athleticism, super accurate. Fields is out, apparently. It is the Rose show. I don't even care what number he wears. I don't know why I'm changing it, but superstar for their quarterback. Of course, Dodge would have been the likely guy we would have had. He's a 76 overall. I've seen an 81 in there. Who the hell was that? Weber, 23 years old. That face model is like almost always star dev. I don't know why. It just always is for me. Let's take a look at his dev. Carson. Another Carson. Star development trait. Running back, 81 overall for the Cardinals. Okay, so they made a decent choice, but they could have gotten a lot off us if we would have traded them. But once again, I just don't think a team does that. They know the team behind them's taking QB. Why risk giving your division rival their franchise quarterback? X factor, kind of as expected. That is a hell of a player, interdivisional now. What a disaster. And then Hal Dodge, hidden development trait. Basically like our guy that we drafted, but way more accurate. And then depending on dev, we'll see if he was way better or not. He is star. So in fairness, I mean, I think we did a pretty good job. We got ourselves basically a top, first-round quarterback talent way later. And Jimmy Jones, who is hidden, went all the way in the 7th round. What the hell happened? This guy's glitched to hell. The Raiders got themselves a steal. I like that, though. That's pretty cool, but okay. We trade Tutu Atwell and a 6th-round pick to the Patriots for 138. If there was anyone that was going to get his full talents utilized, it would probably be them, as we are wasting the hell out of him. And I'm kind of thinking deep route running is better on Hodgins, but I'm kind of thinking maybe Isa Vivas is the number 3, but I don't know. I think Hodgins is a little bit more built for the slot role because he is kind of like smaller, different style of player. All right, season 2. I want to see if there's an out for Stafford next season. I believe they would save, but it would be like a huge dead hit. But with Williams like looking like the clear-cut starter of the future, if Stafford has a really bad start to the season, which I doubt he will, would it not be worth starting Williams if we're going to lose Stafford next season anyways? And we're probably not good enough this year to win it all anyways. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he just surprises us and he just goes off. I don't know. But as far as what the team looks like, defense is definitely been revamped. In theory, outside of maybe strong safety, we may have the starting squad. We very well could have the starting squad. Maybe cornerback too as well, but I mean, he's got potential, so that's all I can ask for. Definitely a nice turnaround, but still a bit of ways to go. A lot of more, seasons to go. Also, Gibson, the backup, not bad. Now, it's not bad, but basically in Madden, if you look at the way 9 touchdowns to 5 interceptions looks, other than like a few quarterbacks, that's pretty bad, right? I mean, you look at all these numbers: 15-1, 13-2, 12-5, 12-5 for Russell Wilson, 14-4, 14-4, 13-1. That's pretty bad. 9-2, 14-3, 10-1, 10-2, 12-1. That's pretty bad. And we're 1-4. It's rookie quarterback time, baby. And the thing is, I actually have Atlanta's playbook on because I think it does a pretty good job of utilizing the players we want to utilize. The running back still will get probably about 1,000 yards. The 2 wide receivers and the tight end will get utilized. So, I mean, if he can't do it with the Atlanta playbook, GG, new quarterback. So 13 downs played more, but 2 less interceptions, 1 more touchdown, and 107 yards more, 106 yards more. I think he's worthy of starting, especially since he's only a rookie doing that. I think the rookie quarterback's starting to get a hang of things. I also think I forgot to re-sign everyone before this time. Aaron Donald wants a 3-year deal. He is crazy, but he's amazing. So 3-year 96, is that fair? You probably could. 32 million is not enough, huh? Okay. Ernest Jones, I would like to give him a 5-year deal worth probably 25. Even that's probably on the low end, but it is. He knows his worth. My apologies. Yeah, completely forgot about re-signings. We may lose some players because it is the playoffs now, and my first attempt was in week 18. Of course, finishing at 8-9. No force wins involved. No changing of the scheme. It's just the rookie quarterback outplayed him. So I think we started the rookie here. So he did lose 2, then won, lost 1, won 2, lost 1, and then won 4, and then lost the final game that may have sent us to the playoffs, but that is beside the point because we are not in them. Let's take a look at those final numbers, though, especially for that rookie quarterback. See what they are. Ooh, touchdowns look a little low, not going to lie. 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It's not bad. Rushing wasn't great, but it was okay. Donovan Peoples-Jones with the most yards and catches, but yards per catch still go to Mr. Cup. Musgrave finally getting involved nicely, and then Hodgins. Really not a whole lot there. O-line, not a lot of depth here, and also not a lot of talent. I mean, 9 sacks, 11, 13, 9 for a guard? Really? Donald with 21.5 sacks, Carter with only 7.5, the rookie with 4.5, Roy with only 3.5. Harris with 3. Man, once Donald's gone, this defense is going to be the worst in the league by a wide margin. It's going to be bad. Any award wins? I highly doubt we would have won Rookie of the Year, but let's take a look. See if we got lucky. And number 3, yikes. Defensive Rookie of the Year, though, so with maybe Superstar. And then Donald with his D Lineman of the Year award win. The Bengals versus the Giants in the Super Bowl, with the winner being the New York... It is not. It is the Bengals. Let's see if we need any dev-ups. Please, Donovan. Please! Peoples-Jones. He had to, right? No! We never get him to do well, dude. It wasn't bad. It's just he never devs up. He's locked in at normal. And then defensively, Harris does go to Superstar as expected, and Fulton goes to Star. So we have 3-star development traits. Cornerbacks now. Would have loved to see Winfield go up in dev since we have so much money in him. I want him to last as long as possible here. But Harris, definite smart decision to start him. He's now basically better than Ernest Jones considering the athleticism. But new strong safety is needed. Re-signing Ernest Jones and Donald is needed. And then maybe right guard / wide receiver. Because once again, Donovan Peoples-Jones is only a 2-year deal. And a lot of times we let him go because his longevity just isn't there. Because he never goes up in dev. Longevity. Like and subscribe now for top-notch comedy like that, always. All right, so I definitely want Mr. Ernest Jones, like we said. I don't understand why a 5-year 25 wasn't enough, so a 5-year 30? Thank you, because we really cannot afford to tag under 80 overall player. Donald wants a 1-year 27 now. I'm willing to do a 2-year 64. Bro, I highballed him. All right. you're getting tagged for 1 year 34 then. I don't care. I'm sorry. Game's trash. I literally gave him a 2-year. What was the offer? Was it like a 34 million per year over 2, and he wanted a 1 year 27? Like, what do you mean? Like, how am I supposed to deal with that? You know? Fullback, he has like no interest, so I'm not going to try to re-sign him. No point in trying to like bid war with a guy that's not even that important of a player, and he has no interest. But definitely a step in the right direction last season. 8-9, we got a rookie quarterback that had himself a pretty damn good year considering. And, wide receivers, okay. If there's a good one here, maybe we try to pay him because we have a lot of money. O-line, we could use a new right guard because Runyon needs a contract. And then Havenstein, he is got to be like 33 by now. 33 years old, so a couple more years. He's really good still, though. Pass block finesse is a little iffy, I will admit, but he's still really good, so I'm not going to push him out the door just yet. And then as far as the defenders go, you really don't need anyone other than maybe the strong safety spot. So strong safety, pay attention to corner, and the players you mentioned on offense, and we're well on our way, I think. Free agency, Nick Chubb, he would likely be traded rather than free agency. Oh, Trent Williams is still here. That's cool. Obviously, I'm not going to go for him. That's quite interesting. Godwin, how many? That's a 4-year deal, is it? 4-year at 29 is a lot, but that's a guy that would be like, ooh, Cooper. Okay, so there's some options. They're definitely on the older side, but we're a lot closer than we were, when this rebuild started. So I'm maybe a little more willing to pay these older players if I think it's going to be worthwhile, Like, obviously, Waddle is number 1, but there's no way Waddle goes to free agency on his own. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I've recently made a play on, and even he wouldn't be in free agency without a trade. So I just don't like making those plays when I know they wouldn't make it there. Like Mike Williams, Godwin, maybe, right? Maybe. But definitely not like in their prime, even though 29 is still technically in your prime situation. 4-year 90, that's a lot of years for a 29-year-old. Wow, our offer is low. What are they offering him? They're probably like he's like scheme fit or something. Yeah, the scheme fit is definitely playing a factor. Can I do like a 4-year that, but more guaranteed? Oh, it's less interesting. Okay, I guess nobody wants to be paid up front. Everyone wants to earn their money instead of being guaranteed anything in life, I guess. All right, bit costly, but he's a really good offensive lineman. A 3-year, $54 million deal for Trey Smith, who's super strong. And then Amari Cooper, how long will he be here? I don't know. But a 2-year 40 is, I think, fair enough. Because even if we don't win a Super Bowl with him, we'll at least be able to develop this rookie better with 2 X-Factor wide receivers. So, I mean, we're putting a little bit of risk into the offense with some of these contracts, but I think it's fine. Rookie deal money on a quarterback is, we don't have to worry about that. And, I mean, this is one of the better wide receiving cores in the league now. Even though they're on the older side, they're still super talented. And, I mean, our offensive line is juiced. So, yeah, I mean, we're in a really good spot offensively. And then defensively, safety, maybe interior D-line just in case Donald retires suddenly. Corner wouldn't hurt, I suppose. But it's a good team that just needs to play better, specifically in the pass rush department outside of Donald. All right, so we are at pick 15, and Mr. Tony McLeod is sitting here, who is an edge rusher. He has an A finesse move. He is super speedy, and Carter has really done nothing, as he usually does in these rebuilds. So I'm going to go with McLeod. If he's hitting development trade, I'm trading off Carter for like a second-round pick, and he is here. 84 jumping, though. It worries me that maybe they lied to me or something, but can we get, I don't know what we could get. Could we get like a mid-second? Because, I mean, if you put him at like actual defensive end, he'd probably kill it, right? It's just every time we have Carter, it seems like we have to put him at outside linebacker because we're in a 3-4. What's his overall anyways? 80 overall, dude. That is a mid-second if I've ever seen it, at least. I really didn't want to make the Eagles like a powerhouse again, but Andre Carter, who is an 82 overall as a left end, for pick 37, their left end currently is, well, besides him now, Kyron Johnson. 0 chance he's going to be good. And it sucks because we have 2 safeties here. I don't know who's better. Roberts' zone is worse, but his man is better. A little bit, all the safeties are pretty much all going to suck at freaking athleticism. But then you have the higher zone coverage in McLaughlin, both 22, but he's slightly worse speed. However, the speed does say good. Like, I honestly think neither are really worth it almost at this rate. Like, it's tough. Good speed versus solid speed. Good is better than solid. I don't know, dude. The 40 times are a little misleading, to be honest. Sellers is 6'3". He's a 2-3, 21 years old. More athletic. I mean, he's kind of giving me, like, starting safety vibes almost. We're going to go to the Raiders. We're going to gain 2 picks this year, a second and a third, and then we're just going to trade up with whatever we have the moment one of the safeties goes, which hopefully isn't literally right away, because otherwise we'll just look stupid trading down and then trading back up. Sadly, didn't have a 6th round for this year, but a 6th round next year to move up 1 spot, which is, I mean, that's pretty decent capital, to be honest. 1 little spot. It's not like it's the 1st round. We're going to be going for a safety, which it didn't say they had a need for, so they aren't going to regret it. Basically just added a pick for nothing, if you will. Mr. Terrell Roberts is going to be the choice. Please be good. He's hidden. And like I expected, not the most athletic guy, but kind of similar to Fuller, but obviously a way higher ceiling. Fuller is done in this town. And also, it's so hard. I really want to just trade up for this guy as well. Cam Knighton, the edge rusher, could play outside linebacker, but we just don't need him. We got McLeod earlier. And then as far as DTs go, Stevenson's good, but Lucas looks just as good, and you don't have to trade up for him. And I'm trading up with the Broncos with a 4th round pick to go up. It was at 8 spots because, you know, our cornerback 2 spot isn't that good. So why not just go Sellers anyways? You know, you're going to land a talented player regardless. You know, Fulton, I think, needs a contract this year, so obviously I'd be letting him go anyways. So Mr. Jason Sellers, 6'3", decently athletic, and those key ratings are good. Please be good. I don't know why when I clicked it I thought he was going to be normal, but that is a solid pick. He may be our new number 2. And I have so many offensive linemen, I just have to assume one of them is going to be there at 15, especially since like 1 or 2 are day 3. So I'm just going to save myself some time, get to 15, and hope somebody halfway decent's there just for the future replacement of Rob Havenstein. 21. Yeah, I'm going to go Angelo Griffith. The youngest, looks solid. Hidden development trait. Good pick. We're set. We've turned the team around. It's looking pretty good. And then with this pick, we are going to go with Joe Lucas. Might be early, but day 3, he could have literally gone earlier than this. A finesse, B block shed. Not the strongest at 31 reps, but we'll be happy with him anyways. He is also hidden. That's a little surprising. All the guys we've grabbed before this pick, I kind of expected. You know, I think the cornerback could have went either way. But the DT, now that is a pick that absolutely surprises me. And I think we're going to trade up one more time. We're going to give up a 5th round next year to move up 33 spots to grab this center, which absolutely sets us for the rest of this one at offensive line pretty much, I think. Other than maybe having to re-sign like Zero or something, I don't know. But the center, Henry Bowman. F run block, but everything else looks amazing. And also hidden. A little weaker, but I don't care about strength anymore in these rebuilds or these drafts because it doesn't seem to really change much. Let's take a look at this guy's going to play well. 76 overall, 73, 74, 72, 72, 73, 72. So a lot of 72s. Just everyone over 70, which is awesome. 21 years old for Tony. Ooh, he looks good. He looks solid. This seems like a good decision, right? Can't be any worse than Carter. Carter was giving us like nothing. Dev is only star, but that's okay. He's obviously a good pick. Let's put him at number 50. It's probably some retired number player, and someone's going to yell at me. Roberts, automatic starting strong safety is Fuller's ceiling has basically been reached. He can play corner, kind of, but obviously with that speed, I don't know about that. Definitely want to take a look at his dev compared to the other guy as well, though. And star development trade. Okay, so can't that other guy can't be any worse in dev. Well, actually, he could be normal, to be fair. 77 man, 69 zone. Not bad for Mr. Jason Sellers. Depending on Drummond's overall, maybe he is the number 2 already. I don't know, but we'll have to see. Dev is also star. So a bunch of stars so far. Not the best work, but what can you do? This guy will be the starting right tackle, so let's put him there now. Wow, his power blocking sucks. But he's the new starting, or not right now, but he will be the starting right tackle for the future with the dev of only star again, sadly. But hidden development traits are not as hard as they used to be to hit. So obviously you're going to see more of them, but you're also going to see a lot more star devs in general. 81 finesse, 73 block shed, decently fast. I think that was a good pick. I'm not sure what position he'll play, though. I guess maybe replacement for Donald in the future, perhaps? I don't know, but let's check what his dev is. 92 overall is what I wish he was. That's his number, and star dev is his dev. Bowman, also hidden. If for whatever reason, this feels like the guy that would be superstar. Very bad run blocking, as expected. So even though he's hidden, and he's a good pick because of how late we took him, technically, he is super raw. So it's not like, oh, look at all these hiddens. He's kind of crap, if we're going to be honest. What else do we have? A second round safety we wanted to see. Where the hell was he? Mr. McLaughlin, also 74 overall. A little bit more athletic than we thought. I guess I didn't really think that. I kind of knew because the game said good. I can't remember who was good and who was not, but pretty sure we knew he was going to be faster by a little bit, and only star, so no one really cares. Really like the Colts uniforms. Kind of hoping the Colts don't take QB, because I kind of want to do a franchise on the next Madden, but I'm not going to do that if they go with a rookie QB, because their team with a rookie QB, I think, would be a little too good. All right, Season 3, we have great receivers. We have most improved offensive line. Gamertpr has actually been pretty good in this one. It'd be nice to see him get a dev up. And then defensively, a lot of potential. It's just, will that potential live up? As far as sellers go, he is already better than Drummond. And obviously, at 21 years old, he's younger, so he will be the number 2 corner. Fulton's kind of being wasted here. Could maybe trade him off, but what is his age? Ooh, 26, actually. He'd probably be worth a 4th-round pick. I'm going to trade him off to a cornerback needy team for a 4th-round pick. Give him a 4th-round pick. Well, give us a 4th-round pick. Give them a 26-year-old star corner, which is pretty good. Ooh, Roy's a superstar. This thing's coming together. All right, 108 mil. We tried to give Aaron Donald a 2-year deal last season, which was insanely fair, and apparently now he's not considering shorter deals, even though he's literally about to retire. It seems like every time we do a rebuild with Donovan Peoples-Jones, he never develops the way we think he will, and then he just leaves after the contract is up, which, I'm going to be honest with you, appears to be the route that is going to happen again. Of course, Jordan Fuller is actually not bad for his overall here, so I'm going to, sign him to another 2-year 7. Havenstein, I think he's gone. Same with Runyon. Kyron Williams, kind of a fun player, but not very good in the game. He's super slow. But yeah, Aaron Donald and everything else is just gravy. We got money on money. So the team had a really good season, but they started to choke and almost lost their playoff spot / division. I'm not touching one last hurrah because Aaron Donald is a generational player, and at this rate, he could play longer than what they're trying to say he can. So I do not want to have him retire just because of some stupid triggered scenario. 4 straight losses at the end, which would have, left us with a really good season. We just barely snuck in because of those losses, obviously. But, yeah, the division was pretty bad. The Niners actually turned it around pretty nicely, in fairness. But division was not the greatest, which kind of led to us making the playoffs. I imagine at 9-8, you probably have a decent chance of making the playoffs, but I don't know if we would have. As you could see, no team, although they were 8-9 anyways. Yeah, we would not have made it. So, yeah, lucky that the division sucked this season because we sold at the end of the year. Chris Williams, not the best season, but, it's pretty good. Once again, clear my throat just to make this as clear as possible, all right? But whenever I say not the best season, I'm comparing this to in-game. I think I already kind of mentioned that earlier in this rebuild, but in real life, this is a great season. But in Madden, quarterbacks in general seem to play pretty well. So when I look at that kind of season, I'm thinking of this, right? A rookie quarterback playing in the Washington scheme with 5,200 yards, 45 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions, 39-7, 38-13, 40-13. 32-10, 35-10. These are all like super common seasons. So technically 34 touchdowns to 15 interceptions, 4,800 yards is like bottom 16. But Cam Akers, best season yet, I believe. Cooper Kupp, great. Musgrave, great. Peoples-Jones, why did he have such a good season? And then Amari Cooper, not good at all, to be honest. Blocking was terrible. Sack totals, 19 for Donald. Everyone else, I suppose Triber has been decent. I think 7.5 and now 8. But we can't really get much pressure off the other side, and Roy has not played well, despite the fact that he's actually really good. Like, I'm pretty sure Roy is at probably a 90 power move plus by now. But looking at the award wins, Aaron Donald, of course, does what Aaron Donald does. We got O-line of the year, actually. Trey Smith is a superstar. But let's go in against that guy that just basically won MVP. He didn't, but he was very close to. I think Dak won it, if I'm not mistaken. But first playoff berth, hopefully not the last. Hopefully we win this game going on the next week. The Vikings winning. That's a new team drop. You usually don't see the Vikings in there. Let's see it. Of course, the way the scheme plays, I don't know if it's going to be good enough on offense. I really don't. As my worries are very true so far, as we are getting smoked on 22-0. Once again, our quarterback's not the highest of overall, so I guess I can't really say anything other than I'll allow it, because we literally have allowed it. One of the worst playoff losses we've seen in a rebuild. It's awful. 36-8. I'm not really sure where EA decides that's how that would go, but sure, I guess. The offense was literally just useless, like we said, and then defense, apparently they're better than us, which just isn't true. Yeah, that was super fun. I enjoyed that. If they came up with a how did you enjoy your performance, what was the game like, I would say excellent. I had a lot of fun. Washington versus the Bills in the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at any dev-ups. Did not expect any on offense, except for probably Akers, man. He is kind of getting sold on. And then defensively, no dev-ups. Actually, on offense, we had Trey Smith. But, I mean, it's an offensive lineman. Doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, sadly, didn't really have much of a season there. Got a lot of money, though, I suppose. Maybe there'll be some crazy playmaker in free agency as Washington wins the Super Bowl. I suppose they smoked on the Bills, too, so we were just kind of running into the meat grinder. We were just one of the first, right? Like, we were the bottom layer for the sandwich. But let's take a look. $179 million, and we already paid Donald. Please tell me free agency's juiced, because, I mean, that's insane. That is probably the most money I've seen ever in one of these rebuilds, outside of maybe a 0 overall. Not even 0 overall rebuilds are lower than that, because you're stuck with contracts of old, or low overall players. We do have to pay some players coming up, but, Cup, if we pay him, is going to be similar. Same with Cooper, similar. And the tight end, I guess it's 10 mil, maybe another 10, 15-ish, maybe 15. So about 50 mil so far, I'd say we have to pay. 0 if we keep him, that's another 12. So 60 mil probably, which, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I want to keep 0. He's given up a lot of sacks. I don't know what his ratings look like, so might actually move on from him. But free agency looks as follows. Do you pay Aiden Hutchinson? This is a guy I never see in free agency, by the way. Has he just played poorly? I don't know if the game even factors that in. He's played pretty well throughout. It's a new name. I'm really interested in going for him. We have so much money and there's no one else here. Do you not get Garrett Wilson as well? I mean, I'm kind of going against my own will here. I know a lot of people that do rebuilds, they don't really care about that kind of stuff, but I do, because I just know how the market goes now, and you just don't see wide receivers like this, on the open market. It just doesn't happen. But you also don't see teams with $179 million. So I'm going to try to get Garrett Wilson. I'm going to try to get Aiden Hutchinson and call it there pretty much. I think 60 million even is probably going to be too low, considering he has no interest in joining. Damn, dude, we're not even on the damn list. What is his issues? No income tax, close to home, Super Bowl contender. Yeah, I mean, these are some things that are not really in our favor here. I don't know how you would get Aiden Hutchinson here. 3 or 72? Doesn't even put us on the list. Okay, well, I'm going to have to pull the offer then. There's no point in even keeping it on there. Well, that sucks. We have still a ton of money, and the only player we're debatably, not even guaranteed to, get is Garrett Wilson. Can I offer him even more? It is the open market after all, so 100 mil. 4-year, 100. It's got to be by far the most. If he doesn't join us, I'm going to be so sad because we're going to have so much money. I might even have to trade for players that are on a contract year, and teams are going to want to get rid of more because obviously they can't afford them. But outside of that, I'm not really sure what else I can do. There's really a kind of a weak free agent group here, and there's only really 2 players, and one of them is literally ungettable because he's too low of an interest. Like, can I do like a 1 year? It's a 1 year though. Like, what would a max contract look like? A max contract on a 1 year still doesn't do it, but I'm going to do a max contract on a 3 year. And I might even do it because I think we're that desperate at the position. Even though McLeod should be the future, I just don't think he is. A 3 or 90 is not even that much anyways, to be honest. Oh, it puts us on the list. It puts the name in the hat. Oh, please give him. Please. Okay, we got Garrett Wilson, so I'm just happy to have one. He signed with the Titans for a 3-year 50. We offered him a 3-year 90. Yeah, no income tax, which I don't even know if Tennessee, they probably do. I don't even know if they do or not. I'm not delved into that. But Super Bowl contender, maybe? Close to home? Where the hell were the Rams? So I guess not really close either way. Like, if our offense sucks with this many good wide receivers, I don't know what to tell you, dude. What are we even doing out here if that's the case? Tyler Smith, how much is he wanting? Yeah, that's a lot of money. Because at this point we could replace and trade Zier, but that is not a possibility. Plus, kind of skipped the first set of signings anyways. We trade Amari Cooper off to the Titans for pick 47. They have only one wide receiver. Well, they did only have one wide receiver, and it was Marquise Brown. And, yeah, now they have Amari Cooper. We were just going to waste him. He would have been our number 3 wide receiver, which is too much. And, of course, we saved about $4 million when you consider the dead cap hit to the actual salary cap hit. Oh! He retired. No. Well, this could be, quote-unquote, a failed rebuild, if you will. Stafford retired. That's where a lot of them... that makes sense. I was wondering why we have so much money, and yeah, that does make sense. Stafford retires, Havenstein retires, and Aaron Donald. Havenstein? Really? All right, so we're in the draft, and 2 things. Oh, one of the things is gone. 2 things. Not a whole lot of talent in this draft. And the second thing, there was a round 1 projected edge rusher in the name of Jeff Anderson who looked really solid, and he's gone. I was potentially going to trade up for him. Once again, we don't really need edge, but I'm just starting a new edge every single season pretty much because it's just not working out. That's not going to happen here today as all the other players aren't great. However, LaRon James, I don't know if we want him, but, you know, that was kind of funny, I guess. I mean, honestly, other than LaRon James, I don't actually know who to take. I was going to kind of throw a little bit of money, a little bit of picks at that guy we seen, but didn't really happen. You know what? I'm actually going to take this. I'm going to take the Bills first this and first next, which is, I mean, I suppose a risk and a half, but when you think about the fact that there is a pretty good likely chance that they are going to be them, I don't know if we really feel too bad about that. Do we take a next year pick from one of these teams as well, which would be boosted? But I would be down, I suppose. I could use a first-round pick next year as well. A whole third-round pick to move one spot. Now, that's a little crazy. That's a little wild. That's a little stupid. A little insane. Let's take the Jets first next year. So if we need someone in that final year, we're good to go. We could obviously we could trade for pretty much anyone, right? Like, we can get anyone we want with 3 first-round picks. I'm actually going to take Dante Cousins. We don't even need safety, but he's best available. Or not. James Vernon is still here, the offensive lineman. I'll take him. Looked pretty damn good. Hidden development trade we'll take. It's just such a boring draft class, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Don't even need edge, but I'm going to trade, or interior. Don't need in IDL, but I'm going to trade up because this draft just sucks, dude. It's so bad. It is like one of the worst draft classes I've seen. So we're just going to trade up. Boom. Give me my D end and call it a day. Although I will say this tight end's pretty intriguing, so maybe start of the 4th round I'll go up for him as well. But Reggie Allen looks all right. I don't even know. Hidden development trade. He's all right, I guess. I had nothing else. I wanted to get him. It is what it is. We have 3 first-round picks for next year. Like I said, if there's a glaring need, and because we have all the salary... I hate Washington. They literally, I'm pretty sure that's the guy now. Man, why? I think the running back was, but he's gone. Jason Neal. Let's grab him. Unless none of them were UDFAs. I don't know. But let's go to Saints pick. Grab Neal. Have the most unrealistic offseason we've had in a quote-unquote realistic style rebuild in a while. Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't like the draft class, and we don't really need much talent right now, so what else am I supposed to do? Just grab players that we don't need? I already did with that DN, but he looks solid enough to where I was like, I'll grab him, why not? But Jason Neal, very athletic, I believe. Yeah, 4.38, good speed, elite agility. It said elite agility, right? Am I just losing my mind here? I really want to see the outside linebacker and the tight end, both named Anderson, and I suppose James as well. But here we are with $167 million. 75 overall for the safety and fairness, 72, 72, 69. Let's take a look at that outside linebacker. Only a 76 overall. He is hidden, so step one. Wow, has a lot of traits there. Solid player, though. Decently athletic, great power rush abilities, and his dev is pretty good. Nice. All right, James, where are you? Was he not a first-round player? I thought he was easily a first-round player. No? There he is. The Texans stay winning. Back-to-back really good picks. Oh, he's actually really good at catching his 86. Holy crap. Is that not actually a special player then? Like, that's probably the highest catching in the class, no matter the position. 86, he's higher than the tight end who... Oh, that's not even him. That's a different tight end. I thought that was the guy. The guy we wanted was actually, he was a late third, wasn't he? One pick away. 75 overall. What's his dev? Hidden. Nice, of course. Didn't really need him, but obviously at that pick in the draft, that is a steal, and I would have loved to have him. What is his dev? Oh, it's higher than our guy. Season 4. I'm trying to think. I think it's too late for a new quarterback, right? I think 23-year-old, we're kind of locked in on this guy. We'll say his accuracies could definitely use some work. We did add Jameis Winston for the mentor tag that he has for more XP, but that is a conversation, a new quarterback, which I suppose having those 3 first-round picks definitely helps. No Aaron Donald, not necessarily even an upgrade at wide receiver. I don't know, dude. This maybe is just too hard of a starting point to like turn it around without the adequate free agency, because we have so much money but no one to pay. We gave Aiden Hutchinson basically the max contract we could, and outside of him and Garrett Wilson, there was no one else that could have upgraded us. Hey, Joe Lucas gets a chance to start, and he gets 1 of 2 for his camp breakout, 10K XP. I'm pretty sure it's camp standout, and I always mess it up. That NFL script goes crazy. Lucas gets superstar anyways. Also, look at this. Not a good start to the season, but double linebacker upgrade. I imagine the edge for one of them. Okay, I'm sure you're going to get it, right? I'm sure you're going to go to X Factor here in a moment. Oh, both edges in one go. I mean, I suppose there's a decent chance one of them does well, right? And if you were going to get one of them, this is the one you wanted. He was not superstar. He now is. Having an absolutely awful season right now, but 183 mil, so we'll know exactly what we have for next season. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think we need a new quarterback, which not ideal headed into the final season of the rebuild. But let's get our re-signings done and take care of what we can physically control. EA just thinks they're so hilarious. 4-13 with a top 5 rated team. Gotta love it, dude. Gotta love it. We now have 3 first-round picks, one of them featuring in the top 5. Gotta love losing to teams that are worse than you. It's super fun. Makes it feel all worth it in the end. I'm just glad we got one playoff berth, deserved or not. Probably need a new quarterback. Chris Williams just wasn't that great. Akers was okay. Williams was decent. Cup, we just gave a 3-year $78 million to for this. Luke Musgrave, 869 with 7 touchdowns. By far our worst season. Maybe even in rebuilds in general. Edge was bad. Aaron Donald must have been holding this team up, because ever since he went, we went to hell. 29th in offense. It's got to be the QB. Let's go to the Super Bowl, and at this point, hopefully there's some sort of god in free agency. Not really sure what else I can do at this point. Falcons versus Bengals. We've played this as perfectly as possible. The Bengals win the Super Bowl over the Falcons. Any dev-ups? Any dev-ups? None on offense. Defensively, middle linebacker, outside linebacker, and Lucas, who is now an X Factor. We got ourselves a new Aaron Donald. Maybe a little getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but he is really good already. Really nice dev-ups and all that. And okay, I mean, we're cooking up there. Trying to, I would assume, get a new quarterback and whatever's in free agency at this point. Preferably even a strong safety, as Roberts is really not developed. Yeah, that's really the plan. And the crazy thing is, I normally wouldn't even spend money on a guy like Antoine Winfield. So think about if we didn't. We'd have even more money. And we'd feel more regret about not being able to spend money in free agency. Some decent names here in our re-signs, but I think I'm going to let them all go. Even the left tackle is... Zier really hasn't played well, and in general, he's just too expensive. I offered him a 3-year 52, and he wouldn't take it, so screw that. All right, so free agency. Jamal Adams, we did talk about a safety. This is the last season, and in general, we have a lot of money. And there's really not anyone to pay, so I mean, we're kind of just forced to just sign players that we may not even need, technically. So I guess I'm going to try to make a play for Jamal Adams. 2-year 32, and the Bengals are still higher than us. I guarantee they're not offering anywhere near that. I'm going to offer a 3-year or a 2-year 34. Please be enough to put it on. Oh, my God. I just want some... I'm just going to give him a 2-year 40. I mean, we have a lacking of talent and an abundance of money, so I just need to do what I can. Thank you. And whatever lands him, dude, I don't even care at this point. We are desperate. And we got all 4 of our re-signings, or signings. Had to offer Tyron Smith a 1-year 30 to guarantee him. Jamal Adams was a 2-year 40. Brazee was a 4-year 40, or 52 actually, and then Roshan Johnson was a 3-year 9. So we definitely had to overpay for some players, but all of the players are really talented. The only real risk is, I suppose, Jamal, because he could regress hard, but I think he's perfectly fine at 31 years old. I mean, he's not as great as I wish he was, but our strong safety position has been awful. He's been the starter for how long as a young hidden development trait player, and he can't even, at the end of the season, be a higher overall than Fuller at this rate. It's been how many seasons? Let's take a look at the team, though. 90 overall. We do have a lot of draft picks, so we can pretty much get anyone in the draft if there's someone that's worthy of taking, and I really think this quarterback needs to go. He's, based on age, dev, and ratings, damn near a first round in value. It's just he hasn't been able to elevate the team to consistent playoffs wow, we paid Cup a 3-year deal when he's about to go. That's not good. Had no choice, though. He wouldn't accept anything else, and it would have been a tag at that point. Regress hard, but I suppose he'll probably retire before he ends up having to be a burden, so it doesn't really matter. That's kind of what I thought anyways. So pre-draft trade, we trade Ernest Jones and pick 34 with a 7th next year for Tremaine Edmonds, which is a 10 overall boost at a pretty damn important linebacker or position in general. Trying to think of other positions. Cornerback wouldn't hurt, so maybe Drummond and a late first for some corner. I don't know. Another trade, 13, 66, and Steen for Lattimore. While Steen is a great nose tackle prospect, don't actually know if it's smart to try and keep him at that spot since we have Brazee now. And I was not expecting that. I was at first it was pick 2 for their first this year, first next year, and I think it was Pittman, and it was kind of close. And I was like, I kind of just want to see what Will Anderson, can I get Will Anderson? And I can. Okay, I guess. Not really even someone I technically wanted. He's obviously amazing, but yeah, I mean, I guess that means we trade off McLeod now. Although we have to pay Triber. Do you not trade Triber even though he's been better? I'm going to trade Triber off for a first next year or something because he's really good too. Okay, well, that threw me off. I'm trying to look for a team that may... So we just cucked, I imagine, multiple teams out of quarterback. I think Miami's the most screwed going forward. And with that, I'm going to try to get 21 and 53 next year which we do. That's a win. We're killing it this offseason. Now, the question is, how many of these players can we pay? I don't know, but at this point, like, something's got to give. So the Steelers won't take QB because they have Kenny Pickett. And the Colts, who just got our draft pick, take the only good quarterback. There is one more that's like a 3 to 4. I may take him, but outside of that, pretty bad. Pretty bad quarterback class. This guy looks good enough. This is the guy. Probably going to end up taking him. Outside of that, though, not a good class. Not a good class. At 19, I don't know if I'm going to take someone. Corner's not the biggest need in the world, but there is a solid-looking corner in Webster. But we have, like, no second or third round picks this year, so I don't know if I want to take him. This guy is solid, though. Like I said, pretty damn fast at 4.3. And, I mean, he's just insanely speedy. But we just don't need cornerback just right now, so I don't think I'm going to do that. We could use a safety, though. I didn't get to fully scout Weston or Nelson. I'm probably going to go to like mid-second round and, work from there. Ooh, Broncos giving me 34 and 46 for this pick. Suppose this is pick 19. We actually got more for it last season than we did here, but multiple second-round picks in a draft class where we just don't have much. Actually, let's take a look if Webster's still there, because he is a 1 to 2. Sometimes those guys last. I mean, we've seen the 1 to 2 was actually earlier in this rebuild where he landed in the what was it, the 7th, I think? And he is not there. Farrell is there, but let's not do that. Let's trade down again. 49 this year and pick 90 next year from Washington. So I'm going to make that trade, see who they get, and move to 14. Sloan. Please tell me the other guy's still there, because Nelson just went. I just assumed one of them would be there because they're both 2 to 3s. And they're both... Nope, they're not gone, actually. Weston's there. He is smaller than Nelson by quite a bit, but I think he was faster, so... Austin Weston as a potential replacement. We don't even really need this guy for Jamal Adams in the future. I don't even know. I'm just going to grab him. Hidden development trait. Really not that athletic for 5'9", though. You know what? I'm actually going to take this Michael Farrell guy because man coverage, while it could be a C or a D, is B to D with a B zone coverage. So he's at least a decent safety, and he's really athletic. Probably should have taken this guy over the free safety, to be honest. Or not. We trade 2 fourths and a fifth, which is literally what it costed for 65 from the Steelers, which we're going to be taking that quarterback. Our next pick is now in the 7th round. But we'll take a look at this quarterback. Similar to the guy we just drafted. Maybe the future. Who knows? Cameron Holiday, very not athletic, tall, but very strong with decent ratings. Let's see what we get. And another hidden... Like the last guy we just drafted, which I suppose hasn't technically worked out yet. All right, I mean, we've got options, I guess. All right, let's take a look at the draft recap. 73 overall for the free safety, 74 for the corner, 69 for the quarterback, just like the guy we just got. I guess we'll take a look at the free safeties dev, but overall, I guess the quarterback as well we'll take a look at. But overall, there's not really much we did in the draft that's going to help us now. Maybe not even for the future. These guys might never start in general. Literally all 4 of them. Maybe Winslow, because our current speedster number 3 needs a contract, and I'm not going to pay him. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of a wasted draft, but did what is it called? We did trade a lot of our capital pre-draft, which led to easily the best team we've had starting of this, since the start of this rebuild, obviously. I don't know if this guy needs a contract. I don't even know how good he is, but Drummond needs a contract, and I don't need a corner. Maybe they need a corner. Maybe that tackle needs a contract, and they don't need a tackle. So I don't know what the situation is there, but a fair trade across the board. Congrats on the new corner, and he does need a contract. So in fairness to us, it was a fair trade. Huge tackle as well, but not good at finesse. It's actually not terrible, but that finesse blocking is brutal, but it is what it is. We are going to lose the corner anyways. Probably going to lose this tackle, so it really doesn't matter either way. We're going to trade Jordan Fuller for Luvu, who will just be a nice depth, kind of edge rusher. The final season with the God Squad. Got great wide receivers, solid tight end, who hopefully wasn't built like a blocker like Darnell Washington always is. 80 overall quarterback, 91 overall running back, best offensive line we've had, probably the best in the league, I'd imagine. Interior of the line, obviously not the best we've had because Donald's gone, but really solid anyways. Corners are the best we've had. Safeties are the best we've had. The whole linebacking group's the best we've had. If we don't at least make the playoffs, this is the worst AAA game of all time. Even if we could run the worst playbook scheme ever, and it's the worst. So I don't really care too much because this is the last season anyways, but I am curious to see who we would lose and who we have to pay. So obviously the right guard, which I would assume we re-sign, same with the center, just because they're both superstar. Rhodes is a little expensive, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, there's some expense here. Definitely some expense. I also wonder how Williams is playing, because if he's actually playing well for once because the team is goated, this would be a great contract, and he's really just not. He's just throwing way too many interceptions. It's his best season, but he's just throwing way too many interceptions to keep, so screw that. And like I said, in past rebuilds, I really think for a team to go the furthest, you have to let linemen go. So I think unless you're a superstar lineman, literally in dev, you're going to be let go. I think that's the only way you keep a decent team going. So 2 superstar linemen, the rest are free agents pretty much. All right, headed to the playoffs. Is a pretty good season to start. How did we finish, though? We went 13-4, which is good. Who the hell is the last hurrah? Wait, who the hell is this? Oh, Tyron Smith. I forgot about him. Never mind. No, we'll click it because we want him gone anyways, because we're not going to pay him a $30 million deal. We'll use that motivation. Of course, Chris Williams apparently stepped it up. 5,300 yards, 40 touchdowns. This is a weird rebuild, okay? This isn't as crazy as the rebuild we did for the Rams earlier in the year, where they were still pretty bad. Not as bad as they are now. And they went to like 3 straight Super Bowls. I don't even know what the hell happened in that one, but it just happened. But this is what the team looks like for the season. Really good. You know, those interceptions really didn't rise too much. The touchdowns and yards did, though. Akers is one of his better seasons. Garrett Wilson's an X factor, unless he already was, which I don't think he was. Hodgins, pretty good. Cup, pretty good. And then Musgrave, pretty decent. As far as the blocking goes, still pretty bad considering. What the hell? Whitaker played? It was supposed to be Griffith. Oh, my God, dude. Will Anderson with 17 sacks, Brzee with 7.5, McLeod with 7, Roy really not. I mean, Roy has put up 4.5. I know he's interior, right? 4.5 sacks with 97 power move. I don't know what you want from me. Kicker was great, which we did pay recently enough, I believe, a 5-year 20-something. Sellers should be a superstar, so a pretty good season, very momentous, and should have some dev-ups. As far as Williams, was he on the list? He was not on the list for MVP, sadly. Garrett Wilson was Offensive Player of the Year, which is cool. No rookie awards. Where was he on quarterback? Number 6, I guess. That's okay. Best wide receiver. Best O-line. Can't go any higher than that. Glad we paid him because he's obviously great. Will Anderson. Sellers was Best DB. Could he actually go to X Factor, perhaps? Because he would be Best DB, 6 interceptions. I think he might actually do that. But let's do our one last hurrah to get our morale bonus and see if we can make the playoffs or just have a quote-unquote failed rebuild. Obviously, this is far from a failed rebuild, but as far as, you know, winning a Super Bowl goes, if we don't have it, we didn't succeed, I guess. Let's go in, 94 to their 89. This is a really high overall, especially considering this team starts off as, like, what, a 72 overall, I think it was. We made a bunch of crazy trades. Let's see if it paid off. All right, going to the end of the game. Philadelphia scores 3. We turn the ball. Oh, my God. 17-0 out the gate. 17-7 now. Nice little turnaround. 17-10. And right at the end, nice score of a touchdown. 17 all. Nice little turnaround, but we need more. Offense got to pick it up because defense is doing literally perfectly. The defense carried. The amount of short fields and turnovers the offense just had given up is ridiculous. 4 interceptions for Chris Will. He's awful. He's garbage. He's awful and garbage. Oh, my God. He got out passer ratinged by a guy who had 57% completion percentage, 110 yards, and only 1 touchdown. He's so garbage. I like it, though, because a lot of the career simulations we do and rebuilds in general we do, the quarterbacks are always really good. He's not. I kind of like the changeup. I don't know. I like it. Divisional round going up against the Buccaneers, who I believe still have Will Levis as their quarterback. Also Nick Chubb. Thankfully, they still have the Buccaneers scheme, though, so hopefully they don't run him too much. All right, will the quarterback be the reason we lose? Looks like we turned the ball over early again. I can't believe how bad this quarterback is. It's got to be him, right? I mean, we just can't move the ball. All right, they've scored more points than the Eagles did last game. This is going to be it. I mean, this is the rebuild. We can't move the ball. I want to, before I come in to try and win this game, I want to see what the stats look like. He's so bad. And the funny part is we're actually running their scheme. So basically the game is saying they have a better team than us, which is just untrue. All right, Garrett Wilson, I need you to get open. He's not that open, but he's him. Doesn't catch it. That pressure was immediate, by the way. All right, hike it. And you know what I'm telling you right now, base sliders are better than edited sliders. I don't understand how this is harder than when I have a franchise set with crazier, like blocking sliders. And it's intercepted. I mean, the pressure is ridiculous. I actually don't know. I really don't understand how base all Madden is tougher than the sliders that I run on franchises. I really don't get it. And this team got smoked, dude. Look at this. Like, look at this, would you? I'm out of here. The winner of the Super Bowl between the Buccaneers and the Bengals is the Bengals. So let's take a look at any dev ups you may have had and just in general how the ratings ended up. Of course, Williams, this season, we could have re-signed him for cheap. Didn't do it, which I still don't care that he's superstar. He's awful. He's like, I would tag him and trade him at this point. He's just garbage. I don't know if it's because that short accuracy is just too low, but he's been so bad. Garrett Wilson, of course, looking very good outside of release, which is a very big rating to not have good, in fairness. Cam Akers, we actually haven't paid attention to him this entire rebuild. He's done well, though, which I applaud him. He's usually, not a name that's like the greatest. Cup is still really good as a 90 overall. I'm not going to look at his ratings because it doesn't matter because he obviously starts off as like a god. Musgrave with 86 short route, which I suppose for a tight end is actually pretty good. You'd probably rather switch that with medium, but either way, it's great. O-line, there's no one that's like, new, if you will. Like, there's no one here that it really matters to have. It's not like we drafted like Paris Johnson or something. Defensively, Harris, who we paid like a 5-year 55 to, was really good in this one. Blockshed's obviously not great, but very good developer. Very good developer in this one. Defensively. Otherwise, Roy played like crap, but he is obviously insane with 97 power move. Then we have Lucas, who sat behind Donald for a year and then just killed it immediately as a starter. Went up to superstar, got himself end of the season breakout or dev up as well, became an X Factor. Lattimore obviously wasn't really ours. Sellers, don't have to pay him just yet, but 85 overall corner, who's now superstar. Thought he was going to be an X Factor, to be honest. Probably should have been, but it is what it is. You still take it. Superstar development trait. What else do we have? Obviously, Will Anderson, we didn't draft, so I don't really care too much. But I'll take a look at him because I'm curious. 99 finesse, 84 block shed, 84 power move, 87 speed, 96 excel. Pretty good strength. Tackle, all those other ratings, really solid. McLeod, he never really played well. Like, what's his sack totals? 4.5, 7. It's his best year yet, but that's pretty much that. And then looking at the defense, what else? Actually, I didn't even look at his ratings. McLeod, so 96 finesse, 76 block shed, not bad. And then defensively, what else do we have? Winfield, Adams, Garrett Williams, I suppose we'll take a look at, and then Brazil to close her out. 91 speed, 95 man coverage. What else do we have? Brazil, that's the one. That's the guy. I also kind of want to take a look at the kicker because he actually kind of developed, right? Like he went to Star and he's only a 77 overall. I thought he would have been higher than that, but 98 kick power, 81 accuracy anyways, which is pretty good. But that's pretty much going to be it for this Rams realistic style rebuild. Obviously that last season got a little crazy with the trades, but even that wasn't enough. So as far as like, wow, the Cardinals were 1-16, by the way. As far as like what would have happened if we didn't do that, who even knows if we made the playoffs. So I guess we had a little excitement near the end. And in the end, we still have a lot of talent and we can afford the players. We're losing a little bit of alignment, but overall, we're still in a really good spot. So down the line, we could still compete. Just 5 years it's a lot of seasons, and it didn't happen. So unfortunately, that's the way it goes. We turned the Rams around, but just couldn't get them back to the Super Bowl, even though we tried their approach of trading draft picks for proven talent. That's about it, though. If you guys have any suggestions for rebuilds in the future, I've seen a couple of people suggesting different fantasy draft rebuilds, which I'm looking at them and I'm, kind of debating on which ones I want to do. So I appreciate it a ton. Maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate the continued support a ton, especially deep into the Madden cycle. And, I'm not sure when next video. Probably be Tuesday. It'll probably be a career simulation and a Steelers franchise video. And I do want to start that new relocation franchise. I'm still debating on which team to do and how I want to do the fantasy draft itself and which, relocation team as well. Like I said, I wanted to do a full 32-team relocation franchise. I just don't know if that's possible without 31 other people, and coordinating that would sound like a disaster. So I do not want to do that. But if I can do it on my own, like offline or something, I will try. But that's about it. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays, and that is about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!